Can't talk about the dynamic and unique cultures that make New York City our country's melting pot without mentioning Caribbean culture.
Yeah, this month, New York State made it official, recognizing June as Caribbean American Heritage Month. In a special Fox 5 film celebrating Caribbean culture, our Kendall Green takes an in-depth look at the contributions that have been made by this vast and diverse community.
The islands of the Caribbean, a magical, mythical world of sunshine, white sandy beaches, and some of the best food and culture on the planet. If you've been there, chances are you'd wish you could stay there forever. For many of us, June represents summer vacation, but for Caribbean Americans, it's a month to honor heritage.
I'm from the island of St. Lucia, the home of the sulfur springs.
St. Lucia, Barbados.
I'm Melissa Noel, and I'm a proud Guyanese American.
Melissa is adorned with a crown of jewelry and feathers with vibrant colors as the host of Tropical Fet's Carnival Festival in Brooklyn.
Got the feathers going for my headpiece, and of course some of the jewels on the face to celebrate Caribbean culture, our creativity, our diversity. A lot of carnivals were actually, born of, people just wanting to celebrate their heritage and their culture, particularly, Afro-Caribbean people. So a lot of it came from, people fighting against forces that were trying to keep them from celebrating their roots.
Another symbol of the Afro-Caribbean culture, stilts.
In the Caribbean, they call this like mokojumbi. So they go out in like different carnival events and stuff and walk over the crowd and dance.
It looks like fun and entertainment, but the standing on stilts actually represents roots and has a purpose.
It originated in Africa. They had people go up on tall stilts to represent like spirits protecting the community.
A community of over 13 million Caribbean Americans in the U.S., according to the 2021 American Community Survey, with nearly 8% of them living right here in New York City. The country moved to celebrate Caribbean Heritage Month in June nationwide in 2006. It wasn't until this year the state of New York followed suit.
This all started with Assemblymember Nick Perry from the 58th Assembly District, who is now the ambassador to Jamaica.
In May, Assemblymember Jamie Williams and her colleagues went to Albany with the Consul General of Jamaica to sponsor the resolution recognizing Caribbean American Heritage Month statewide.
I think you have people who have been waiting for people to animate their issues in the New York State Legislature, making sure our legislation is just, fair, equitable, and also recognizes their contributions not only to the Caribbean diaspora, but their contributions here in New York State.
Paying respect to their Caribbean pioneers in politics.
Had there not been a Una S.T. Clark elected to the New York City Council, I don't think politics is on my mind.
Dr. Clark, the first Caribbean-born woman from Jamaica to be elected to the City Council, was elected in 1991, years before the United States would recognize Caribbean Heritage Month. She paved a path her daughter, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, would follow, contributing to a wave of Caribbean representation in government.
It's similar to when Cory Booker became the first black mayor of Newark, New Jersey, or Barack Obama became the first African-American president.
It gave hope to those who would not have seen themselves represented in the heights of government.
I am my ancestors' wildest dreams.
And caring about the trajectory of the Caribbean community isn't just a job for politicians.
We want to become the largest ecosystem that connects Caribbean business owners across North America.
Dr. Nicole Grimes, originally from Trinidad, the founder of Caribiz Network, works with nearly 100 Caribbean-owned businesses and aims to ensure they thrive here in New York.
This is our home. We are large in charge here. This is the city with the most amount of Caribbean nationals in all of the U.S. And I hope that my company aims to really help, to continue rather, to cultivate this community of Caribbean talent so that we could really continue to show like we are a major force driving economic development and opportunity here in New York and beyond. We have so many cool differences across our cultures, like our history, our language, all our traditions, the things that we celebrate.
While we're speaking of businesses as a celebration of culture, we have to talk about Caribbean food. I've never seen somebody enjoying food the way you guys are right now. What am I missing?
You're missing all kind of flavors, and it's a combination of flavors,
And the vernacular of it is like it's every time you take a bite, it's a different flavor in your mouth. It's so intense.
That intense flavor these customers are experiencing is a product of memories Nadege Florimond aimed to create with her restaurant Bunan. It's a Creole word for plantain.
I grew up eating what is known as fritai, which is a street food in Haiti. And that's comfort food. That is the ultimate soul food in Haiti.
So she wanted to create that feeling of comfort she had in her home, Haiti.
Truly, food is the ultimate connector. Oftentimes we talk about like the soundtrack to our lives, but then I realize food always sparks those memories and experiences that we've had.
It's a clear connector to her heritage, her history she extends to others.
Caribbean history, Caribbean culture is world history, and I think having a designated month just really is another opportunity for people to understand how truly we do live in one world and we are more connected than we think. Oftentimes when I think about Haiti, I don't think people realize the person who incited the Haitian Revolution, the slave rebellion, was a slave from Jamaica. We don't realize that, you know, Haiti was one of the first countries to recognize Greece. We don't realize that Haiti, you know, provided Latin America with arms because they were the only free black republic in the area and supported Simon Bolivar in freeing his nation.
And you probably didn't know one of the founding fathers of hip-hop has ties to Caribbean culture as well. Hip-hop started in the Bronx in 1973 at a back-to-school party thrown by Jamaican immigrants at 1520 Cedric Avenue.
Kool Herc, a founding father of hip-hop. He's a Jamaican. Make sure you know that.
The father of hip-hop, DJ Kool Herc, perfected his DJing technique he learned from his hometown of Kingston, Jamaica.
I was DJing at the time. My sound was the best.
He brought vibes to his audience based on their reaction in real time, mixing through turntables, keeping that sweet spot of the song on repeat.
After that, people kept asking us, when are you going to give the next party?
The method of promoting the parties themselves, another product of Caribbean roots.
So I got my idea about promoting the party with the index card, because that's what they did in Jamaica.
50 years after the birth of hip-hop culture, artists like Busta Rhymes, also of Caribbean descent, is driving the industry's legacy forward with grit, creativity, determination, and heritage.
Now, don't get me wrong, everything that Busta Rhymes embodies as far as going to get it and not taking no for an answer came from being a Caribbean, raised in a Jamaican home, and
a proud moment from one Caribbean pioneer to another.
Busta, I love that. I can't go to a lot. He looked out. Out of 21 people, we are one.